My name is Ashley Huggins. I am a forever auntie. I am an aunt to a bunch of children, whether they are biological or you know how the community goes. My friends, those are my nieces and nephews, whether you believe it or not. I am a social worker by trade. I am currently the manager of volunteer and community engagement at Jackson County CASA. So I do recruitment for volunteers for children in foster care. I'm a previous foster mom. I'm a big sister. I'm a little sister. I'm an advocate. I'm a granddaughter. I'm a daughter. So all of the above.
Love it.
It takes a village to raise children. Like I said, I'm a forever auntie, but if my nieces or nephews need somebody to pull up and mom and dad are busy, I want to be able to advocate for them to the best of my abilities. And it seemed like the good place to get additional skills.
What do you think makes an advocate?
Someone who is willing to listen, but also be the speaker for someone else's microphone. So I may not know all of your needs, but I'm a loudmouth, so I know that I can amplify my voice for you to be heard. And I think that is the best way you can do advocacy. I don't always have all the answers, and that's fine, but I know how to get a room of people to listen to me. I think just the landscape of what education looked like has changed in the last 20 years. So from when I was in school to now, the rules of what it meant to be an active parent in school look very, very different. I think the availability of having a village looks very, very different. Although, like growing up, at one point I was the youngest kid on my block. Although I may not have known every neighbor on my block, they knew what time I was supposed to get off the bus and what time I was supposed to make it home. If I did not walk past your house at 4:42 and by 4:45 somebody was going to call somebody was going to walk outside, and we don't really have that for various reasons. The world looks different. Social media, I think, invokes a level of fear. It has changed how people see and view community. The pandemic has happened. You were locked in your house for a long period of time, so those community boundaries that you may have had have probably gotten even smaller. I'm independent and I can do it on my own. A lot of my friends, I have to remind them, like, I am part of your village. If you can't pick up little Roscoe, call me. I'm gonna leave work. What they gonna tell me? No, that's my kid too. It takes a village. You are so stuck in your head as a parent, and even as an auntie, I get stuck in the, well, I have to do this. I have to keep my cape on. I may not always know how to advocate, so I take a seat back. I think teachers don't get the respect that they need. So, I mean, a lot of my friends are in education. I worked in education for 4 years, and I mean, their voices aren't heard as educators. If you don't listen to me in my own school building, me calling out to you is going to be even harder to be heard. People are stuck. They don't have villages, whether that's educational, at home, a combining of both. I think we're siloed.
Something that you mentioned.
As a social worker, I work directly with the Students in Transitions office for a few months in a different role as a case manager. Students in Transition specifically works with houseless students and whatever varying steps that may look like. So you may literally be living out of a hotel, a shelter, your car. You may be doubled up with a family member. It affected my clients. These are families who may have lost their jobs during the pandemic. They may have already been families that were underfinanced. Now I have to take off work to get my kid to work, or I have to leave my house earlier to get my kid to school and then make it to work. Well, if I already don't have the money, I may have already been on the bus route. So I was waiting on the school bus to come get my kid, and we were leaving at the same time. The buses are free for this time period. We don't know how long that's going to be. Kansas City public buses don't run on time. School buses had limited amount of bus riders. It affected a large sum of my caseload. So I'm working with families who are at a financial disadvantage, and then school buses not showing up, people lost their jobs. How am I supposed to maintain my child? Childcare is not here. There aren't a lot of grandmas and grandpas who are able to stay at home now because the economy is trash and they're going back to work and they weren't able to retire. So yeah, the school bus system has not only affected my friends, some of them who work in education, some of them who are just everyday workers, but also it affects us as social workers and case managers of how we are able to fund and support families who are actively seeking out help. But legally, I can't drive your kid to school. Otherwise, I would have got a van and started picking up kids. Like, there's so many ways that the bus system has impacted communities. Like it's not even just on an individual parent or an individual school or school district. It is Kansas City wide on both sides of the state line, more so on the Missouri side, but also over in Kansas as well. My next step is just to continue to amplify the voices of my friends. They are the experts in what their children need. I'm auntie. Auntie know a lot. Auntie don't know everything. So my goal is to take whatever it is that I learn here, all that I learn here, and put it in their back pocket. They may not have had the time to come and make it because kid got soccer practice, they debate club, speech club, all those things, theater. But my goal is to continue to take what I learned and just let them know. So you may not have had the time to show up, but I can say, oh, I learned this. Let me help you get in contact with this person. And hopefully we can fix some of the issues. It's on a grander scheme of things than just, the buses or funding for one school district or funding for a charter school, but one step at a time.
One step at a time.